You know, Kansas City is a wonderful give back town, and people give back all the time. It's one of those places that sets Kansas City apart from a lot of other communities or big cities. Mary and Alan Atterbury exemplify that. They are the perfect example of not only being people who give back financially, but they give back of themselves. They make sure that the organization is run well. If it's a dinner, they want to make sure that it's successful. It's not just about money, but it is above and beyond. It's thinking out ahead. It's looking at the details. It's adding creative, adding, most importantly, really, their enthusiasm and their spirit to every project that they get involved in.
Betsy, you worked with Alan and Mary. Well, you worked with Alan on the Board of Trustees at UMKC, and specifically very hard on the Time to Get It Right report. Tell us about that.
Well, Alan was chair of the Board of Trustees when this Time to Get It Right report came out and said that UMKC had a huge opportunity for growth if it had its own independent foundation. So he called me up. It was, in fact, the day I retired from Fleischman Hillard. He called me up. I was in New York. And he said, hey, will you take this project on? It's a couple of months. It's not a big deal, but it would really be important to UMKC and kick us off. Well, in the end, it took us about 3 years, and it was plotting and patience and strategizing and so on to get this through. This campus, UMKC, is the only one of the 4 schools that has an independent foundation to raise money. It will be huge for this campus. It already is doing lots of great things in terms of being able to introduce new programs, fund new programs, organize the fundraising and how the process goes. Under Alan's leadership, one of the things that he brings that's so important is he is always looking to the future. You know, when you start something up, particularly when there are no real good places for you to draw on history. We can draw on KU, but to draw on our own history. So every decision, frankly, becomes an important decision, and he's always looking to what it's going to, what the ramifications are of that decision, say 10 years down the road. So he doesn't want to do anything today that somebody else, a whole new board, a whole new generation, we may be dead by then, but a whole new group of people will say, Gad, why did they do that? Why did they do that way? So he's very thoughtful. He's legal to a point, but he wants to make sure that this foundation isn't winging it, that it is stable and secure, and 100 years from now will be every bit as strong as the KU Foundation.
How is the foundation doing so far? What's its impact so far?
Oh, it's great. It's, you know, these are bad times for raising money. Everybody knows that. And we were able, because we're an independent foundation, to bring in the finest university fundraiser anywhere in the country. Fortunate that he had family that lived here, Murray Blackwelder, and they were interested in coming back, but we stalked him. We got him to come. He's doing a great job. He's turning around the whole sense of fundraising, the organization, but the spirit behind fundraising at UMKC and all the constituents, the alumni, the community, the foundations, and so on, to where we are bringing in more and more money each day.
And how else are the Atterburys involved with UMKC?
They're involved. They've been involved with the conservatory. They've been involved in touch points all along. Conservatory was one of the big areas. The Trustee Scholarship Fund is another one. They stepped up early on the Trustee Scholarship Fund and then hired one of the trustee scholars. That's another example of they don't just throw money at it and walk away. They stay with it and support the program or the individual or help raise money or whatever is necessary to make it above and beyond in its success.
And there's some other areas in the city that the Atterburys have been very supportive, the Nelson and a whole list of organizations that the Atterbury Family Foundation has supported. What do you know about that?
It's the same thing for the Atterburys with every project they get involved in. I think they're selective. I think they don't just give. They step back and say, how do we feel about this? What is our interest there? How can we contribute in both financially and other ways with our our family or with our friends to make it even more successful above and beyond. That's certainly the example with the Nelson, but frankly, from my experience, with everything they get themselves involved in.
The theme of this year's luncheon is Do More, and how does the idea of doing more and giving more fit the Atterburys?
That's what they do. They do more. They give more. They give more than, quote, just money, or more than, quote, just time, or more than, quote, just chairing something, or more than, quote, heaven forbid, than just sitting at a board table and pontificating. They get involved, they contribute, they give it spirit, they give it enthusiasm, and they give it their love, really, for the organization.
And just to wrap up, why would you say that Mary and Alan are deserving to be recognized at the 27th Annual Philanthropy Awards Luncheon on May 13th at the Hyatt Regency Crown Center as Philanthropists of the Year?
Alan and Mary Atterbury exemplify the Kansas City spirit of rolling up their sleeves, getting involved in the community, and making it happen, both with money, but also with their spirit and enthusiasm and creativity and genuine interest in making philanthropy a success in Kansas City.
Thank you.